Hi, I'm Anthony Bennick, and if you don't know already, or maybe you do know, I sell property in Melbourne, Australia. Well, South Yarra to be specific, but that's just outside of Melbourne, the actual CBD itself. I wanted to make a very quick video and provide some tips if you're looking to purchase a property whenever, in the next couple of months, 6 to 12 months, 2 years, whenever. And I hope these tips are quite useful.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Have a wonderful day.
You too, thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi Anthony, how you going?
Oh, good, Kate, good. How are you?
I'm good.
Firstly, I started working in real estate about 3 years ago, and I really got to know and understand the entire process from A to Z as far as purchasing property and on the other side, transacting property. And some of the things that I've uncovered through all the sales that I've done and all the properties I've listed is I've gotten to know and understand what works with when it comes to purchasing property and what doesn't work, and vice versa when it comes to selling, what works and doesn't work. One thing that I have noticed to work and to be the most effective thing, which I think is the number one tip, is to pay market rate. Now, what do I mean by pay market rate? From my experience and from dealing with I don't know how many people I've dealt with over the last 3 years, the people who are successful at purchasing the property they want is the experienced investor. And the experienced investor understands that what's expensive today is cheap tomorrow, which is that's a golden phrase. Now, the people who I find to be the most unsuccessful people when it comes to purchasing are the first home buyers, or the unexperienced purchaser, the unexperienced investor, people who are guided by their mum and dad. And these types of buyers generally begin purchasing property or start negotiating at a very low rate. And what I mean by low rate is instead of purchasing the property, they would negotiate and start with a low offer. Now, generally, a lot of properties transact that way. I'm referring to properties that are truly unique and truly desirable in the eyes of the market, something that doesn't come up often, something that's in high demand, and something that would be perfect on a portfolio. A lot of first-home buyers and unexperienced investors start slow or start low, and they think that the owner's just going to come down, drop their pants, and accept their offer. If a few days into negotiations, some experienced investor sees the product on hand, understands the products, and just purchases it outright. They take a property off the market and out of the hands of first-home buyers and sort of younger people who are looking to get into the market. And a lot of people have been upset with me for the fact that I'm out to sell the property. I'm not here to play any games or mislead anyone. I make it quite clear when I'm in negotiations with someone and they're taking some time to think about what their next move would like to be. I make it quite clear, if someone calls me in the next 10 minutes and offers me something else, offers me another offer that is acceptable, I'm going to go accept it and I won't be coming back to you. I make that quite clear. A lot of people have been very upset with me for not getting back to them and telling them that someone else is about to purchase the property. But unfortunately, that's just the way I conduct business. So tip number one, and it would be the most important tip, is to bite the bullet, pay market rate. Tip number two would be to get a building inspection completed. I know a building inspection is a few $100s depending on where you are, who you get. Oh, it's a great investment. You can uncover so much with a building inspection, and a building inspection is a good opportunity. If you know no one else is interested in the property and you get a building inspection and it uncovers some issues with the property, that's just leverage that you can use in order to bring down the price. And I guess when you find yourself in a situation where you have a building inspection completed and there are some things that are on that building inspection that you know are a red flag, again, my favorite part is using that as leverage. So tip number two would be to get a building inspection done. Tip number three would be to put a deadline on any offer that you put forward for a property. My preferred deadline is 24 hours. Depending on how serious you are, you can always put 8 hours. 8 hours is more than enough time for a property consultant to be able to get in touch with their client, and for the property consultants to be able to provide their client with the offer, and then the offer be thought about by the owner and brought back to the property consultant and then brought back to yourself with an answer. That's more than enough time. If you're really serious and you really want to be able to put a lot of pressure on, an 8-hour deadline is something that you can do, but my go-to is always 24 hours. If you have the budget and you have the finances and you have the means in order to be able to hire yourself a property advocate, someone who, I'm a sales agent. I sell property for people. An advocate is the opposite to what I am. They are they're not necessarily a sales agent, but they're an agent that goes and purchases property on behalf of people, and there's a wide range of benefits on getting yourself a buyer's advocate. They have access to property that you don't have access to. A lot of people in the US, they use Zillow. In Australia, we use realestate.com or domain.com, and the general public have access to those websites only. However, buyer's advocates have relationships with actual agents who provide them with off-market listings, and some of the off-market listings that get transacted are really nice. Believe me, I know. That would probably be my last tip. If you do have the means about you to be able to get yourself a buyer's advocate, my recommendation would be to get one. And if people were to reach out to me, I've got buyer's advocates in certain locations around Melbourne who are able to help and whatnot. Other than that, that's about it. And I think the last, I'll just finish off by this. You would want to get yourself a decent solicitor, not someone who's cheap and someone who is just going to be doing the job and filing the paperwork. I've had experiences where people have cheaped out and gotten themselves a super cheap solicitor, and then the solicitor's just done nothing and hasn't helped them when it comes to any issues that have arisen throughout the property settlement period or any issues that have come about. That would be my last tip, actually, to really get yourself a decent solicitor that you can trust. Other than that, that would probably be all my tips if you're purchasing. I bet there's so much more, but right now I'm only going to give you a little bit. I may make another video to bang on about, what some of the other tips I have. I'm just wanting to make a casual video, casually dressed, taking the dogs out, about some of the tips that I think people should know about, or some of the things that people should know about or consider when purchasing a property. Cool. I hope that was really cool, and I hope that was really good, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to make more videos like this. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I've linked all my social media down below, my Facebook, my Instagram, LinkedIn, my TikTok, and that's about it. Feel free to jump on those pages and reach out via any of those platforms. Again, Anthony Bennett here, signing off. Speak to you soon. Bye.